So I'm really excited this week to talk to jockey Georgia Dobie. Georgia, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do and how did you get into it?
Hi Tracy, thank you very much for having me today. My name's Georgia Dobie. I'm 26 and I am a professional jockey. I'm based to southwest of England, so mainly ride down south. Been in racing since I was 16 now. As soon as I left school, I went to the British Racing School and got the bug then. So yeah, took a few years to ride out my claim, but yeah, I'm very happy to say that I'm professional now and still really enjoying it.
Fabulous. How did you get into horses and how did you get into racing? Because most young girls go into show jumping or, I don't know, pony club games or something. They don't necessarily go into racing.
Yeah, definitely. I think when I was a kid, I always had ponies and things. I was always that little girl that was sort of obsessed with horses, and my mum used to take me to the local riding school and started off having lessons there, and then managed to sort of loan a little pony, and it just progressed from that really. As I got a bit older, I got a bit of a faster pony. And we used to do quite a bit of hunting and stuff just locally. And I think one of the field masters mentioned it to my mum about pony racing.
Mm.
And we weren't really, too much involved in racing. We only live 15 minutes from Lambourne, but I haven't got a racing background or anything like that. So yeah, I managed to qualify my little pony at the racing school, and I did a few point-to-point pony races on her. Nothing too fancy, but yeah, I think I got the bug then. Really, I think I was 15 when I did a couple of pony races, and I thought that's what I wanted to do, and yeah, that's what I did then.
So you left home at 16. That's
Yeah,
really young,
so
isn't
it
it?
is. I went to the racing school. So when I was sort of like 15, 16, I used to ride out at weekends in Lambourne. And
Yeah.
then I went to the racing school. I think it was like a month after I sat my GCSEs, went up to the racing school, and I sort of wanted to move out and try somewhere else. So they sent me up north. I worked. My first job in racing was at Mark Johnson's, which is up in Yorkshire. And I learnt a lot there, moving out at 16. I think I was there for just under a year.
Yeah.
Um, then yeah, I came back down to Lambourne, but I'm glad I moved out young and I was able to learn a lot there, and I wasn't very good at that age. I was very, very small, I was probably 7 stone, but no, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I've just worked in racing since.
What else do you do besides racing in terms of your getting your physical fitness right? Because you have to be incredibly strong, don't you?
Yeah, that's correct. All us jockeys were all pretty fit, and obviously you have to watch your weight a lot as well. So I do quite a lot of running. I did my first half marathon this year. So that's mainly what I do, a lot of running. And obviously being based in Lambourne, there's a really good gym there, Oaksey House, which is, all for jockeys, and they have really
Ah,
good rehab there, if you get injured. And
yeah.
I had a jockey coach for a really long time, John Reed. So I used to go and have lessons with him on the mechanical horse, which is, the facilities are brilliant. I think there's one in Lambourne, one in Newmarket, and one up in Yorkshire. And a lot of the jockeys use it. So that's, yeah, you know, pinnacle really for your fitness. And yeah, I enjoy doing a lot of running. So in between riding out and racing, yeah, try and keep as fit as I can.
Yeah. And when you first qualified then as a jockey, did you find it quite easy then to get into the racing and become a professional? Did you have to search around and move around a bit?
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't easy. I would probably say I am a slow burner, to put it the right way. But no, I worked in Lamel for a bit, and then I went to Australia when I was 18, and just got a track riding job over there. And I think the horses in Australia are a lot stronger than in England, and I think that helped me a lot. It got me a lot stronger, and I actually felt like I could ride a bit more of a race then. And then when I was 19, I joined Eve Johnson Horton's yard, who that's where I was an apprentice to. I rode out my claim there. I rode there for quite a long time, and a few years I was there for, and I learnt a lot there and got a lot of opportunities. Rode out my claim there as well. I rode quite a lot of winners for Eve. So yeah, it was great to ride out my claim. You have to ride 95 winners to ride out your allowance, and then you
Right.
then you turn professional. So, it's quite hard to do, and
Yeah.
I was really pleased when I did that. I think I was on 94 winners for ages, and the last winner just felt like it was never going to come. So yeah, I was absolutely delighted to ride out my claim. So yeah, obviously it gets a bit harder when you haven't got an allowance next to your name. Obviously, when you're an apprentice, you claim a little bit of weight off the horses, which, you know, happens, trainers want to use you because you're taking weight off. So when you
Yeah,
when you ride out your claim, obviously you're a level playing field with the other jockeys. And I suppose that is, when you've got to work even harder and spread your wings and try and ride out for as many trainers as you can in the mornings. So, hopefully when your agent rings up for the ride, if you've been in there showing your face,
yeah,
more chance of getting on the horses.
yeah. Sounds quite tough as an industry. Sounds really tough to actually get a race. Is that a good estimation?
Yeah, definitely. It's tough for everybody. I think everybody works really hard. Everyone's getting up early mornings and driving to the races and riding and doing their best. It is very hard, and it's harder even trying to keep on the horses as well. You could win on a horse and then you could get taken off it next time. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think you've got to be quite level-headed and keep your head down and just work hard, and hopefully the opportunities come, and when they do, you're ready for them.
yeah. So you ride for more than one trainer as well, don't you? Is that quite normal for a jockey to do that?
Yeah, definitely. I think when you're apprentice, obviously you're more based at sort of one yard because you're working hard in the mornings there. But yeah, when you're you know, professional and you're sort of freelance, you just try and spread your wings a bit and ride out for as many people as you can. Obviously I'm only 15 minutes away from Lambourne, so in the summer I ride out for quite a few trainers there, and obviously I pop into Craig Benton, who's based in Epsom.
Yeah.
Normally when I'm sort of riding that way, I'll try and link it in so I can ride out for him as well. So yeah, yeah, always busy anyway, always on the road.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. So what does a it's probably not a normal day for you, but what is an average day for you? What does it look like? When do you get up? What are you doing during the day?
So my alarm goes off at 5 every morning. I get up, ride out in the mornings. Depending on where I'm racing. Obviously in the winter now it's more evening racing.
Yeah.
The jumps are back, so the jumps are on during the day, and there's quite a lot of evening racing. So I'll ride out till sort of midday, come back, and then set off wherever I need to go. Sometimes I have a couple of hours at home, or I'll use the gym in Oaksey House and then kick on from there. But yeah, the last few evenings I've been having even racing, so I've been able to leave in the afternoon. But sometimes in the summer I can only ride out a couple, and then I go straight from the yards to the races. So yeah, it's always busy and you're driving up and down the country, but I still really do enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you go all over England for your race courses, or do you stay more into the south?
Yeah, no, we sort of drive around everywhere. Everybody does really. You need to go where the horses run, but mainly I ride sort of Midlands to South.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got the northern jockeys up north, but yeah, occasionally I do have to drive up north or Doncaster or somewhere like that. Quite often, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So have you got to the stage yet where you're like Frankie Dettori and you can just arrive in a helicopter?
I wish. No, definitely not. But yeah, that's the dream. No, definitely not. Normally I'm driving to the races still with my riding out gear on, but yeah, no, it's quite a hectic life, but I really enjoy it, and it keeps you busy anyway.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So either now or when you were more of an apprentice, did you have any role models? Did you have any heroes or heroines who you thought I'd love to be like them, or I really really love what they do?
Yeah, definitely. There was actually an Irish jockey. She's retired now. I think she retired through a knee injury. Her name's Kathy Gannon. And when I was a kid, I just used to watch her on the TV the whole time. I used to
Yeah.
think she was great, and she was hard as nails, really tough. And when I was 18, she actually turned a jockey coach before she moved back to Ireland. She was a jockey coach a little bit in England. So yeah, she was my first coach when I got my license. And she was great. It was absolutely brilliant having lessons off her, because I thought, when I was a kid, I used to look up to her, and now she's teaching me. But yeah, she was tough as nails, and she probably wasn't one of the biggest jockeys as in riding at Royal Ascot every year, but she would just work really hard, and she would mainly ride for sort of the smaller trainers, but she'd, always get the job done. And I thought she was extremely strong and finished. So yeah, Kathy Gannon's always a female jockey I've always looked up to.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a favorite race course as well?
Um, yeah, there's a few. I like Windsor a lot. I've been quite lucky there. I've ridden a few winners there. It's only an hour down the road, and I just think it's a little bit unique. It's a little bit like a figure of eight at Windsor.
Right.
So it doesn't suit all horses. You have to be quite balanced getting around the bend. But no, yeah, it's a lovely track, and in the summer they do a Monday evening racing there, so it's lovely.
Oh, great. Sounds good. I haven't been to Windsor. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's
Have you been to
lovely.
Chester where they race the opposite way?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never ridden a winner at Chester, but yeah, I've ridden there a few times. It's a very unique track as well. Like you say, it's just sort of in a circle, isn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lovely track.
And so do the horses respond differently at different tracks?
Yeah, different horses suit different tracks. There's sort of bigger tracks, the likes of Newbury, Doncaster, Fosslas. They're, typically bigger tracks. So bigger horses that want a bit further or want a bit of room, you sort of send them to a nice bigger flat track. Whereas Chester, if you've sort of got a sharp, quick horse, likes to make the running, likes to go forward, you'd probably think that they would like somewhere like Chester because I mean, it all happens very quickly there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got one that can jump out and make the running, then happy days. Yeah.
And I suppose sometimes you must find that you're given a ride or given a race and don't know the horse terribly well. So how do you get that kind of collaboration with the horse? How do you get the best out of them if you don't know them very well?
Yeah, like you say, sometimes, I would have never sat on a horse before I ride it in a race, which is, the same for everybody. A lot of us as jockeys, will go on and watch the replays of their races before,
Yeah.
look if they've won a race before, watch how the jockey's ridden them, maybe watch a few more and see when they haven't ran as well, what's gone wrong. I normally like to ask if there's a jockey that's ridden it before me, I'll give them a call on the way to the races and just ask them what it's like and, what they think I could do. So, yeah, just trying to get, the most knowledge that you can without, of sitting on the horse before.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the other jockeys are really helpful and they'll let you know if they've got any quirks or, how they think they need to be ridden. So which is always, very helpful. But it's quite a lot also that I would have ridden at home and I know them very well. So it just depends really who you're riding for.
Yeah, that sounds that like, all the jockeys are in a club kind of thing. I didn't realize that it was so collaborative and that somebody who could potentially be your rival is giving you hints about how to ride a horse. That's really great.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it's quite a small knit community and everyone gets on very well. And most of the time, everybody wants to help you out. And there's a lot of senior jockeys there that, I'd look up to. And, if they tell me to do, something certain on a horse or to look out for it, to do this or whatever, you'd listen to them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you ever feel quite pressurized riding other people's horses and, riding for trainers that maybe you know well or you don't know well? And do you ever feel that kind of pressure?
Yeah, I suppose any jockey that steps out in the track, there's always some sort of pressure that comes with it, whether you're on a favourite or on 100 to 1 shot,
Mm.
someone's paying you to do the job and, you want to try and ride to instructions as best as you can. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't always go to plan and, you have to resort to plan B. But yeah, I suppose pressure comes a lot with the job. But I suppose you sort of learn to deal with it. And I sort of think that you need to ride, each horse to the best of your ability. It doesn't matter the odds.
Yeah.
And just try your hardest, really. That's all you can do, really, is do your best.
So are you quite good at putting all of that outside stuff out of your mind and just focusing on the race when you're actually doing it?
I think so, yeah. I've always been quite sort of level-headed, I try not to
Yeah.
let the good days get, too high and the bad days too low.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I probably am quite tunnel vision when it comes to racing. I think you have to be really, you've got a job to do at the end of the day. So, you have to try and do that the best as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems quite high pressure because it's relatively quick, isn't it? Well, I suppose all horse disciplines, whatever you do in the ring, is also very quick.
Yeah.
Um, but do you ever feel nervous, or almost
Um,
like stage fright? I don't mean you're nervous of riding, but
yeah.
like the occasion, if you like.
Yeah, no, not really. I suppose I do it so often. I don't really feel nervous going out to ride. Obviously, when you're talking about pressure, you know, all jockeys are going to give horses bad rides time to time. It does happen. Things can
Yeah.
go wrong in a race, or, a horse could be slow out the stalls and you're not able to be, closer to the pace. You find yourself at the back of the field when you're meant to be at the front. These things can happen. So yeah, I suppose it's just being able to deal with it really. And I think always being honest to the trainers, hold your hands up if you think that you have, made an error. But also, say what you firmly believe. So yeah, I suppose nerves probably isn't a thing, but there definitely is some amount of pressure with it.
So what do you do to relax and sort of decompress and get rid of all that pressure? Or does it just float away as soon as the ride's over?
Yeah, I suppose, I'm not going to lie, there are some nights where I'll drive home from races, with my head down a bit, I've gone beaten on a favour or something like that. But most of the time I'm quite good. When I get home, I sort of switch off. Um, I've got a bit of a normal life, got friends that are outside of racing, so I'm not constantly talking about horses.
Mm,
Racing can be quite, it's very much a lifestyle rather than a job. It kind of consumes your
yeah.
whole life, especially in the summer. It's pretty, 24/7. So I suppose you have to have a little bit of where you switch off and, you talk about something different than horses.
Is that
Yeah, exactly.
possible? So how do you maintain that calm focus, especially in the minutes running up to the race when you're not started yet, but you're on board? How do you keep your focus? Is that something that you naturally do, or do you have, a mindset routine or something that you put into your head, or a mantra, or what do you do?
I usually feel like as soon as I get legged up on a horse, I feel more relaxed. Once I'm on the horse, they let me go. That's when you've got to do your job really. But wouldn't say I really have a routine. I suppose each day is different. I mean, I always have a bit of chewing gum before I go out and ride. That is a routine for me. But
Oh, okay.
no, yeah, I don't know why, but I do that. But no, I just think, yeah, once I'm on the horse, I just feel more relaxed and feel more focused.
Yeah.
I suppose it's more standing in the middle and speaking to the owners, which is more of the bigger deal, really.
I suppose that's easier if you've just won as well.
Yeah, definitely. Happy customers.
So, as you said, I mean, being a jockey in a flat race jockey like yourself, and the summer is must just be chaotic. Less so in the winter, but still really busy. How do you get that work-life balance?
You don't really, to be honest with you. It's very full on. I mean, I've missed a lot of things, birthday parties, weddings. Um, Last year my brother got married and I did go, obviously, but there was a bit of a worry. A horse that I rode a lot was entered in a nice race on my brother's wedding day, and I said to my mum, "I'm gonna have to go and ride," and she said, "You can't," and I said, "I am." I said, "If it runs on his wedding, I'll just have to come late." But no, yeah, it is. It's very full on, and you can't really take any days off in the summer, because otherwise someone else could get on a horse that you would have ridden, and if they won on it, you probably won't be able to get back on it. So yeah, like you say, more so in the winter. We actually had a flat jockey break a few weeks ago. I think it's the only week in the calendar where there's no flat racing. So I managed to get away, which was lovely, to go on holiday. But no, it is quite full on. I have quite a lot of friends in the industry as well, so obviously I would catch up with them at the races and stuff. But yeah, I suppose you have to be quite dedicated and you have to understand that you're going to miss out on certain things because you're going to be going racing, and that's probably just the way it is.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously you get tremendous joy and a huge buzz from the racing. It's not that it's all take, 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 is it? It does give back to you as well.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, when you have the good days, it's great. I mean, there probably is more bad days and good days, but yeah, when you ride a winner and you've got the job done and the trainers are happy, the owners are happy, it's yeah, it's a good feeling, and you just want more of that, really.
Now, you're probably going to be a jockey for a long time to come, but do you have your sights on something else afterwards? Do you want to be a trainer or do you want to do something away from horses even?
Yeah, I suppose I'm not really sure at this point. I still want to be riding for a few more years yet, and I've been to Australia. I'd love to have another trip back there and race ride there again. I loved that place. So I think I probably will end up doing something within the industry when I retire from race riding. What that will be, I'm not sure. Whether I'd like to, go down the training route or be pupil assistant to somebody or something like that. I think you can always keep learning in this sport. There's just every day you learn something else, speak to someone else and you learn something, different
Yeah,
trainers, different jockeys. So yeah, I think you can never stop learning, and it's a job that's great. It can take you all over the world. I've got friends that are racing in America, New Zealand, Australia. It really is fantastic. Most countries, that it's big on racing. So yeah, I'd definitely like to travel a little bit more as
yeah,
well.
yeah. How about Hong Kong? Would you like to go there?
I would, yeah. That is, the elite of racing, really. The prize money is huge over Hong Kong. Obviously, Craig Benton worked there for a long time, and it definitely sounds like the place to be. But yeah, there's plenty of other places I'd love to go. America, I would love to give that a little stint as well. So yeah, hopefully I can travel a bit more in the next few years.
Yeah, I was going to say about America because their racing's very different, isn't it, to ours? It's well, you correct me if I'm wrong, but it's mainly dirt tracks, isn't it, rather than
Yeah,
grass and
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it's I think every country's different actually. Even going to Australia, it was a bit of an eye opener. They train them a lot differently over there than they do to England. And I think same with America. Yeah, like you say, there's a lot of dirt tracks, and even just the morning routines I think are very different. So yeah, I suppose you can just never stop learning.
yeah, yeah. And I suppose that the horses, because of their breeding, although horses obviously swap from country to country and they go all internationally now, but I suppose when you change country, the average horse, if there is such a thing, would be a little bit different in style maybe as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sort of English horses, I think, they're trained to sort of stay more than anything, not always, but a lot of them,
Yeah.
our biggest race is the Derby is, over a mile and a half. So typically English horses are a lot more relaxed, I find. Whereas
Okay. Yeah.
you go to Australia and a lot of them are sprinters and they just have tracks round a bend. They wouldn't have like straight miles or straight 7 furlongs. A lot of it is
Yeah.
just round a bend. So they're trained for speed, so just even riding them out in the mornings are a lot stronger and a bit more hot-headed than say like the English horses. And I think America would also probably be the same, be a bit different. I think every country just has it a little bit differently, like you say, and the horses are just slightly different. So yeah, it's great experience to be able to travel around and see how everyone else does it, sort of thing.
Yeah. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? To have all those countries on your CV. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
you mentioned Craig a couple of times, Craig Benton, and of course that's how I've met you through Craig and the Limes and Equestrian Infinity and so on. So, tell us about that. Tell us about racing with Craig. What's that like?
Yeah, so about a year and a half ago, I had a book ride at Kempton. Obviously, I hadn't really heard of Craig before because he had trained in South Africa and then he'd worked in Hong Kong for a while. And yeah, I rode a horse called Bold Suitor for him around Kempton, and yeah, the connection just started there really. I rode him a few winners that year, and he got a few more horses then, and yeah, he's gone strength from strength really. He's a great guy to be riding for, and he's so incredibly loyal, which goes a really long way in racing. He's so loyal to me and lets me ride them all and listens to the feedback, and I go and ride out there and get to know the horses, and I love the team. They all work really hard there, they all do. So yeah, riding a winner for him, although some of them have been low level stuff, it means a lot. And yeah, he's got a great setup there. The horses come first, and yeah, it's brilliant. I love riding for Craig.
Yeah, Yeah, great colours too. I like the colour.
Yeah.
The colours are my hometown's colours.
Oh,
The
really?
well, we say in Warrington primrose and blue. I don't know whether you say yellow and blue, but yeah, primrose and
Yeah.
blue. So every time I see it, I think, oh, they're
Yeah,
riding
you
the
don't miss
Warrington
them.
colours.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't miss them on the track, that's for sure. They're
No,
very bright.
no, they're great. They're great.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So what have you got coming up immediately? What's on your agenda for the rest of the year and into early 2026?
Yeah, so things will quieten down a little bit more coming in December for the flat racing. But then hopefully, give it a good kick next year. Really looking forward to the season sort of starts April, March time. So yeah, over the winter you're just keeping fit and I'd like to give next year a good go. Try and ride as many winners as I can and spread my wings a little bit and, maybe ride out for some new trainers that I haven't ridden for before. So yeah, really looking forward to next year and looking forward to the season starting again.
Great. Great. And any ambitions to change to National Hunt or anything like that?
No, definitely not. I think watching him on the telly scares me enough. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're very
yeah,
brave.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'll be sticking to the flat for now anyway.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Do you have your own horse, by the way?
Yeah, I do actually.
Oh, how do you manage your own horse and all this?
Yeah, no, in the summer, June and July, he actually had a few months off just because I was so busy racing, but got him back into work now. I actually won a few races on him. He was just low level, but I won on him at Brighton, and he was a really good servant when I was an apprentice. I used to ride him a lot, and he taught me a lot. I think I rode him like 16 times. I had a look on Racing Post. So yeah, when he retired from racing, I got him at home, and got him jumping and do a bit of team chasing and hunting on him. He's great. So yeah, I have a bit more time to ride him now. Keeps me busy. But yeah, in the summer he sort of has to have a bit of a break, but I don't think he minds anyway.
Yeah, you're probably the opposite to everybody else. You give your horse a break in the summer and then you start riding in
Yeah,
the winter.
in the winter. Yeah, drag him out the field and give him a clip. Bless him. He's no,
Oh,
he's great. He's a proper legend. So he's sort of a family pet, really, more than anything. But yeah, no, it's always great. I've always had ponies and stuff growing up. Although my mum and dad aren't horsey, I was always fortunate enough to have a pony or pony on loan. So yeah, everyone always sort of says to me, "Oh, after racing, why would you want to go and ride your own horse?" But I really enjoy it, and it's something else to do, isn't it? Rather than riding the race horses, I sort of hack up and down the countryside on him, and yeah, it gives me a bit of space anyway.
oh, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant that you've got your own, that you do. I mean, you've got to retrain and keep going with him as well.
Yeah, he's great, bless him.
Oh, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. So, um, can you tell us when are you racing next, if you know, and where can we find out more about you?
So not quite sure where I'll be racing next. Actually, I've ridden a bit this week. I'd say it will be somewhere next week on the all weather.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Somewhere probably Chelmsford or Seoul, somewhere like that.
Okay.
Um, And yeah, I think it will probably be a little bit quiet till after Christmas, but hopefully, like I said, give next year a bit of a kick and be a bit busier and yeah, give it a good go.
So where can we find you on social media or anywhere on the internet that we can find out more and follow you?
Yeah, so I have Instagram and I post quite a lot on there really of my racing and a lot of my pony as well. I suppose it gives you a bit of an insight. I live a
Yeah.
little bit of a boring life really. It's mainly riding out in the gym really or going for a run. But yeah, so I'm on Instagram and Twitter, or X it's called now. And yeah, I normally post my races and my rides on there. So yeah, you could give me a follow on Instagram and yeah, have a look what it's like.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to put your details in the description box so people can follow you and find out more about you and cheer you on even if they get to go to the races. Uh,
Yeah, that'd be great.
so thank you ever so much. It's been really interesting to talk to you. I'm exhausted listening to all the work that you do. It's incredible. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.